So we're going to talk about Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava and talk about the keys for success for him to have against Oklahoma's defense. So to do that, we're going to look at some film of Oklahoma's defense, talk about what they could potentially throw at Nico, what they've done in the past, and talk about how Nico can potentially beat Oklahoma's defense. Oklahoma's defense has been the best part of the team thus far in the game, similar to how Tennessee's defense has dominated. Oklahoma's defense has dominated, but they've shown a few kinks in the armor as well. So we're going to look at Oklahoma's defense, then look at Tennessee, and look at some film of Nico throwing and talk about the type of throws he can potentially have against Oklahoma's defense. This is your first time tuning in. We're not at our normal spots. We apologize. We're gone for the week, so we're trying to make do with what we have. This is broadcast footage, FYI, so if the audio isn't as good as normally, we apologize. So, big takeaways with Oklahoma's defense. Again, probably the best part of their team thus far is they're aggressive. They like to bring pressure. 40 to 45% of U of H's and Tulane's quarterbacks dropbacks, they brought pressure, they blitzed. Just because they blitz doesn't mean they necessarily get pressure. So they want to get pressure. That's their biggest thing. But they've done a good job keeping everything in front and trying to avoid any kind of deep vertical shots and vertical plays. All right, so let's watch this clip here. We're going to see OU showing one thing pre-snap. I'm sorry. I moved this out of position. Let's get it back. Okay. So we'll go ahead and show this here. So OU blitzing, they bring 6 here. It's a good job by Tulane's quarterback. You can see that they want to blitz only 5 DBs. So a lot of grass, a lot of green space. My biggest question with OU's defense is I'm not sure what they're going to do or how they're going to attack Nico. They haven't faced a quarterback like Nico before. Are they going to want to bring pressure? Are they going to want to leave that much space open for Tennessee's receivers and for Heupel to scheme open guys? Don't know, right? But what we have to go off of, they have blitzed, they have tried to get pressure on quarterbacks the first few games. All right, clip number 2. We're going to see another successful play. I got to go start it. Let's see. Okay, we're going to see they bring pressure again. And notice how aggressive they are. They're going to have like 7 guys within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. Okay, I'm in the way. I apologize. So we see line of scrimmage, right? So 7 guys all within the line of scrimmage. And so now you only have 4 DBs in the back, so a lot of space. This is really good coverage, but ends up being a better throw, right? So against a quarterback like Nico, again, I don't know if you want 7 guys within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage unless Tennessee is just able to pound the ball on the ground, which they may be. All right, so this next play is going to be Oklahoma's defense causing some chaos here. So even though they're aggressive and you may be able to take advantage of that, they're okay being aggressive because it leads to some bad plays by quarterbacks like this. So if you're Nico, you want to avoid a fumble like this, interception of the quarterback's running out of the screen. He'll get back in a second. But you want to avoid any bad plays like this because OU's aggressive defense, even if they give up a play or two, can lead to bad plays like this. I'm not sure if they call this a fumble or not. I can't remember. It was a 2-point conversion, but regardless, you get the point. It could easily be a fumble or an interception, right? So OU's defense, very aggressive. They've been the best part of their team thus far. So not sure exactly what they're going to throw at Nico, but guarantee they're going to try to confuse him somehow, some way, right? Okay, let's go look at Nico now. Let's talk about Nico Iamaleava and talk about what Heupel could scheme up, what type of throws you want to see. What are the keys for Nico to have success? Let me move this because with Nico, NC State's defense is a pretty good defense. And, you saw him struggle at times. You saw him throw a few picks, but you saw him bounce back and respond, and Tennessee really was just able to dominate them overall. It was, 51-10. And the throws he's made against not just NC State, but against Chattanooga and Kent State, and I get it, those aren't the best teams, but the throws he's made are impressive throws regardless who you're playing. Like, these are NFL-type throws from Nico. So I don't care who you're throwing or who you're thrown against with these type of throws. But definitely OU's defense is going to be his biggest challenge. So I think for Nico, man, if you have a huge game against OU, man, you're going to be talked about as, I don't know, Heisman contender, best quarterback in college football. Right now it's Quinn Ewers, still Carson Beck. But, man, Nico's got, people are already talking about Nico being the best quarterback in college football. But if you have a big game against OU, you can definitely hear more talk like that. So what are the keys for Nico? I think number 1, if I'm Heupel, I want him to get comfortable. Now against NC State, he was able to scheme up some plays, some wide open receivers, like these play actions here. We're going to watch 2 play actions here, and they led to big plays. So if I'm Heupel, I want to scheme open some easy throws, get some play action going on, and just try to get the defense of OU out of position. Especially we saw how aggressive they are. So I think with Heupel and his play calling ability and his schematic just mind and him wanting to be able to attack OU, I think this can help set up some plays downfield, right? So number one, play action. They haven't shown a ton yet. They haven't really need to show a ton, besides a few times in this NC State game. But once it got out of hand, they didn't need to show that much. But there were a few times they showed some creativity. We're going to see a touchdown to the tight end running wide open here. But number one, the keys for Nico. Play action, get comfortable here. If I'm Nico Iamaleava, let's see here. Boom. Okay. But yeah, so Nico, number one, plays. Number two, how are you going to respond, right? That's my biggest thing. If you have a bad play, okay, look at this. NC State's got like 7 guys inside 3 yards line of scrimmage. Man, you really, if you can try to get OU to do that, then maybe a busted coverage happens, right? Okay, but back to Nico. How are you going to respond if you have some adversity? If things don't start off very well at the beginning of the game, how are you going to respond? That's number two. That's key number two. Respond if things don't go according to plan, which they didn't against NC State, right? This play here is right after he just threw a pick, but he responded. It's a great deep ball throw. And he responded. So how are you going to respond if things don't go according to plan, which is football? So a lot of times they don't go according to plan. Okay, is it going to play? Yeah. So we're going to see this is exactly how he responded here. Deep throw. He looked off the receiver this way. Backer coming in, or maybe a DB coming in, and throws a nice deep ball, right? I think does he get pressured? He might be getting hit here. No, but still, really nice throw. So if I'm Nico, key number two, respond appropriately. If you don't have success at the beginning of the game, that's okay. He showed against NC State after throwing that pick, was able to respond. And then key number three kind of goes hand in hand with this play. Do you need explosive plays to beat OU? I don't know, right? Like Nico hasn't had to have a ton of explosive plays. In our Jackson Arnold video, we talked about how Arnold only has 2 completions, 20 yards or more. Nico has 4, 20 yards or more. Nico hasn't needed to have a ton of big plays, but the ability is certainly there. So are you going to need to have those plays? I don't know. You may be able to be accurate, hit your guys in stride in the open field, and let them do the rest of the work. But I'm still going to put as a key. I do want to see some deep balls. I don't know if you need to see it, but the talent is there, and I imagine Heupel going back home is going to want to try to strike up the band as much as possible and get 6 on the board, right? So here's a play against Kent State. They only bring 3. Nico's only been blitzed like 20% of his dropbacks. So if OU does stay on average, he'll be blitzed twice as much as usual. But if they drop 8, then he's going to have all day to pick them apart. Here's a deep ball by Nico. I know it's slow motion, so it's not the best quality as far as footage goes, but it's a hell of a throw. This is what I'm talking about. Like, these type of throws play anywhere. I know the receiver's open, but still, that's a great throw from, where were they? Midfield, opposite hash. Midfield, about the 40 or so? Yeah, 40 or so. But yeah, so again, not sure if you need explosive deep plays to beat OU, but I think it certainly will help, and I think Heupel will definitely scheme it up. And this is the first time OU's playing a quarterback that can make these type of throws. Again, if Nico has a big game against OU, you're going to hear the talk about him being the best quarterback in college football more and more on media platforms and shows. But I think OU's defense is stout. OU's defense is legit. Really looking forward to the game. Going to be a fun game to watch. But main keys for Nico, just to kind of wrap up. Number one, trust Heupel's offense, right? Getting some play action, some nice easy throws like you saw against NC State. Number two, how are you going to respond, regardless if you have success or if you struggle at the beginning? How are you going to respond? That's key number two. Number three, don't know if you need explosive plays, but I think they'll be dialed up, so go ahead and hit on them here. All right, so if you're a Tennessee fan or SEC quarterback fan or OU fan, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think the keys are for Nico? What do you think he needs to do to have success against Oklahoma defense? And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really does help us grow. We put out SEC quarterback content on a weekly basis. So thanks for following us along. Again, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.